Act like the cup is the skull and the egg inside is the brain. Shake it all up. Think about that happening multiple times. Courtney Kupets-Carter is taking the Gym Dogs to new heights. Up next in sports. I'm here at Sanford Stadium, where Georgia just defeated Mississippi State 31-3. On the first play from scrimmage, Jake Fromm hit Terry Godwin for 6, and from there, Georgia was golden. Mississippi State struggled on offense all night and only put up 3 points from a field goal. The Clark Central Gladiators took on the Cedar Shoals Jaguars in the annual Classic City Championship tonight. The Gladiators dominated both halves and on both sides of the ball, while the Jaguars struggled offensively with a few high snaps that were recovered by the Gladiators for touchdown. Here are some of the highlights. I'm Patricia Duffy with your sports. Kirby Smart comments on NFL protests and true freshman quarterback Jake Fromm next. Freestyle, backstroke, butterfly, and breaststroke. My arms are everywhere, but the UGA swimmers have those moves down pat, just in time for their first meet. I'm Patricia Duffy with your sports. The University of Georgia gymnastics team, known more often as the Gym Dogs, are turning a new page after finishing 12th in the NCAA Gymnastics Championships semifinals last season. Leading the charge, two-time Olympic medalist and Gym Dog legend Courtney Kupets-Carter. Football is a family affair for two brothers at Oconee County High School. Offense, defense, they play on both sides of the ball, taking snaps right next to each other on any given play. You'd think gold runs through these swimmers' veins. I'm Patricia Duffy with your sports. UGA swimming kicks off its season today. As we speak, the Bulldogs are facing off against Emory University in Atlanta. Jake Fromm was just named SEC Freshman of the Week after what was arguably the best game of his young career. It's number 11 Georgia versus number 17 Mississippi State. UGA versus Bully. Two mascots that are ingrained in the tradition of each university. Now, we're not the Westminster Dog Show, but these mascots are some of the most popular dogs in the SEC, and they're pretty cute. So let's compare in the Battle of the Bulldogs. Fromm hands off to Nick Chubb, and everyone thinks it's going to be a typical Georgia run up the middle. But no, Chubb tosses it back to Fromm, who then launches it to Terry Godwin downfield. 59 yards for the score on the first play from scrimmage. Next drive, it's a bit more of a traditional play, with Chubb running it in for the touchdown. But the wild plays aren't over just yet, because the wild dog is up next with none other than Nick Chubb again under center and running it in for the score. Georgia's defense also had a standout night with 2 interceptions, including this one from DeAndre Baker, which set up this Fromm to Isaac Nada touchdown. Georgia rolls to 4-0 with a 31-3 win over Mississippi State.
It's about serving them and making sure that they have opportunity to be successful.
Corey Johnson's journey with football began almost 30 years ago. A 3-year starting safety at the University of Georgia, Johnson played with the likes of Will Muschamp, Hines Ward, and current Georgia head coach Kirby Smart before joining the Arena Football League. When the coaching call came shortly after his retirement, Johnson didn't hesitate.
So I kind of felt like I fell into a great situation, something that I wanted to do, and it kind of fell into my lap. I always wanted to work with kids anyway, so that was a win-win for me.
His latest stop and first head coaching position has landed him in Conyers, Georgia, where the Heritage Patriots football team hasn't made a playoff appearance since 2011. The Patriots decided it was time for a change after a 1-9 season last year, and Johnson was waiting, ready to take the next step.
You're almost just dropped, so to speak, into these kids' life, and you don't have any kind of idea about the background, where they come from, what they're up against when they leave school, when they go home. The learning curve is to get to know the kids.
As a student athlete at the University of Georgia, Coach Johnson majored in consumer science with a focus in early childhood education. He puts that major to use with his team by focusing on personal development and academics rather than just the football record.
We try to take the W and L's of football out of it, because football is a great tool for life. So we try to use this tool that they enjoy, the game, of it, and we try to use that to work with them on their life skills, the school building. Know that, you know, we're not just here to win games. We're here to build young adults. You know, kids know when you're genuine.
Johnson says he's received praise for his players' performance in the classroom as well.
All of a sudden they start seeing a different, you know, focus, and the teachers are like, Coach, I don't know what's happening.
A change in atmosphere is apparent to everyone around the program, but especially to the players.
It's like changing the whole face of the school. It seems like there's like everyone's just more focused and just ready to practice every day.
Despite taking steps in the right direction, Johnson recognizes big changes take time.
I think everybody kind of felt like because we played, you know, some professional ball and played college ball, you know, that we was going to come in and we were just going to, you know, clean everything up immediately. Fortunately for me, I was already prepared for that type of, you know, reception. We're working on that and we're ironing out, you know, and our little wrinkles, and we're going to put together a pretty good, productive season this year.
At the end of the day, his measure of success for his team is simple.
My biggest thing is to see those young men grow from boys to men.
This is Dylan and Miles Petway. They're teammates on the Oconee County Warriors football team. They're also brothers. Only 16 months apart, Dylan and Miles have played on the same team together since the start of high school. They're a pretty menacing pair on the field. Dylan plays tight end and outside linebacker. Miles plays fullback and inside linebacker. But off the field of play, the Petway brothers say they're complete opposites.
I'm more cautious. He's more reckless.
Dylan is 18 and a senior. He's not sure what he wants to do after graduation, but coaching or being a sports analyst are at the top of his maybe list.
I'm starting to figure all that out now.
Miles is 16 and just a year behind Dylan in school, but he's got a pretty clear picture of what he wants his future to look like.
Yeah, my goal is when I grow up is to become a zoologist, get my own TV show. Because I don't know if you've seen Animal Planet now, but it's awful.
Miles doesn't just want to work with animals when he's older. He wants to be the next Steve Irwin. And when I asked for his best impression of the crocodile hunter...
See, right there, we got a nice gator. You can be very careful when you walk up on it because they get a little riled up, you know. You don't want them snapping back at you, whip its tail around. It's got a very strong tail.
Football is a big part of the Petways' lives. But next time you see them playing under the Friday night lights, remember, they're just two brothers having some fun. I'm Patricia Duffy with your sports.